Hello, I am Harriet van Heijnsbergen. Many of you know me as Teacher Yet. I've been studying and working in the field of education now for almost 35 years, 20 of which here on Saba. When I first came to Saba, I was a special ed remedial teacher. Later on, I was the internal guidance officer. And I've done innovations projects for 10 years under the wing of the Innovations Bureau. For the last year, I have helped prepare an expertise center for education care. Education care consists of internal care by the teachers within the schools and external care by experts outside of the schools. The external care will take place in the Expertise Center Education Care, or as we call it, EC2. In Holland, I was trained as a special ed remedial teacher and an educationalist. These teachers give special help to children who need that. For instance, a child who is visually inclined learns how to read in a different way than other children. Certain children need more structure, and other children need to be more challenged because they are highly gifted. So this type of education has also been acknowledged now on the Dutch Caribbean islands. It's been acknowledged in such a way that the Ministry of Education is granting us subsidies to start an expertise center for education care. So these expertise centers have been set up during the past year on St. Eustatius, Bonaire and Saba as well. The setup of the EC2 has been formalized in the education laws for the Dutch Caribbean islands. So the EC2 has been established over the past year to cater to students from 0 to 24 years old. These students are currently enrolled in the Laura Lindsay Daycare Center, the primary school, the secondary school, and the social youth development program. All school boards are represented in our organization, so each school has a say in the EC2. The board currently consists of Raquel Granger for the Saba Comprehensive School. She's the president. Diane Wilson for the Sacred Heart School. She is the secretary. And Carl Bankemper for the Social Youth Development Program, who is the treasurer.
I'm a board member of EC2, and that means to say I represent the Stichting Katholieke Onderwijs Saba. I'm representing the Catholic School Board. And as board director, I'm in it also basically with my colleagues to make sure that we're going to get the right people to handle these cases on the island. That is one of our goals. Really, it was to set up a plan first, you know, put everything in perspective. So the plan had to be sent to government for them to see it. It had to be sent to OCW because we're under the Dutch Ministry now of Education. They had to give their input. And we had visitors last from the inspectorate team. They were given the plan, and I understood from Yet that they had read through it and they felt that it was a very good plan and that we should continue working with it because they felt we really knew what direction we had to go in with the kids.
Through the care plan, the EC2 ensures funding for materials, personnel, office costs, training, etc. The funding is given by the Dutch Ministry of Education. If you're interested in looking at this plan, come see us at our offices in St. John's. The process of education care starts when the homeroom teacher identifies an issue in the classroom. Just like everywhere else in the world, Some of our children have ADHD or dyslexia, things you may have heard of and that make it more challenging to succeed in school. But unlike everywhere else in the world, we do not have schools with specialized personnel. We simply do not have enough students to justify a special school like that. And, more importantly, the latest development is to address the needs of all students in the regular classroom. This requires support for the teachers, support for the students, and support for you, the parents. Since the beginning of the year, each school has an internal guidance officer who coordinates the care so that all students and all teachers get the assistance they asked for. The internal guidance officer is not a learning or behavior specialist, but a coordinator who makes sure that each get the help they want.
So my role as guidance officer includes lots of different things, just really being there to counsel students as the need arises. Once it's not deemed to be too serious, then we call in the Center for Youth and Family. But once it's pretty, run-of-the-mill things that we can handle here at the school, then I deal with students on that level, giving them, counseling and guiding them throughout different things that may be going on with them.
The teacher involves the internal guidance officer and possibly presents the case in the school care team.
So we ask teachers to fill in the student care forms once they have concerns about a student. Those forms are then disseminated throughout the teachers, and so they have time to review them and come prepared to our student care meetings. And then we discuss the student, come up with options that could help that teacher who's experiencing trouble, get feedback from more experienced teachers, give them several options to work with a specific time period, and follow up with that. If there's no satisfactory improvements, then we take it to the expertise center.
The internal guidance officers come together with the specialists involved in testing and observing students in case of learning and behavior questions, social, emotional, or physical issues. These are the psychologist and the educationalist. Together with the representative of the Center for Youth and Family, they form the Care, Advice and Referral Team, the CART. Members of the CART currently are Margaret Child for the Laura Lindsay Daycare Center, Jamila Wilson for the Sacred Heart School, Vanessa Wilson for the Saba Comprehensive School, Connie Atkins for the Social Youth Development Program, Carmesita Chamon, psychologist, Henk Wekers for the Center for Youth and Family, and myself as president and educationalist for the EC2. The CART meets monthly to seek solutions within the school, such as with a remedial special ed teacher, teacher assistants, or through team teaching. The CART can also advise further consultation by a professional such as a psychologist or a speech therapist.
My name is Henk. I'm a social worker at the Center for Youth and Family. And we work together with the EC2. The EC2 has a CART meeting every month. We come together and discuss situations in the school with children. Children, maybe they have learning problems, but when we come in is when the problems a child is having are beyond the scope of the school. And that's why when we can provide extra help through a psychologist or maybe a children's psychiatrist. Beside that, we can also provide family guidance. That's when we come in to the families and assist the parents how to get, for instance, a better relations with their with the youngsters when they're having some difficulties in school. That could be behavior problems, but the base could be in the homes with the families. So that's when we get in with our social workers to give the parents some extra guidance how to deal with their children.
If there are cases that I might have to observe the child, I will go into the class or observe the child in the classroom That's usually more behavioral problems. The results usually are also discussed with the teacher and the internal guidance counselor, and also with the parents, of course. It's important to get the parents involved because then the child will have a more consistent treatment, more consistent approach both in the school and at home. I consult with the internal guidance counselor, and she will make an IEP, which is an individual educational plan for that particular child. And it could be on a behavioral level, or it could also be on an academic level.
The input of specialists is shared with teachers and parents and processed in an individual education plan, or IEP, for the student. The plan allows for action-oriented student care, which means that the teacher takes action based on the abilities and strengths of a student. This action is described in the IEP, which caters for your child and all who work with him or her. The progress of the student is monitored monthly. Each term, the individual plan of the student is evaluated. Parents can also come to the EC2 to request assistance for their child. In this way, we strive for uninterrupted learning for all. There should be no child left behind, but 100% learning for all. This involves cooperation of all partners in learning, not just the children and teachers, but also the parents, even the managers. We can't just think that by testing a child the problem is solved. No, the test results can help us understand the child better, and then we need to act on it, together.
It works. As the time comes closer, I'm more sure, and I can't wait to do more.
At Sacred Heart, the new system is being rolled out. For example, there's extra attention in class from a teacher's assistant, extra support by the homeroom teacher, extra attention in class from the remedial teacher, after-school homework help through Child Focus, small group lessons from the special ed remedial teacher in the resource room, individual instruction and counseling by an expert at school or at the EC2, and sessions with parents. The Expertise Center Education Care is located with the Department of Education in the former Innovations Bureau. We are close by the schools, close by the teachers and the students we can support. The EC2 offers the following services: teacher, internal guidance officer and parent library, placement tests, diagnostic achievement tests, and parental support. For the future, we are working on a speech therapist to come over and do screening of our children, an occupational therapist or physical therapist to work with the students, and we will try to get some assistance, coaching for the internal guidance officers. To keep you fully updated and informed, we will have a website and we will have monthly newsletters. And to get some research in the schools, we are in contact with several universities from Holland who might be able to send their interns to do their internship here on Saba. We are full of plans and we hope to stay in close contact with you. You can reach us at St. John's and you can also email us ec2saba@gmail.com. Thank you for your attention and take care.